I received an early screener for what I feel is one of the most endearing magical movies I've seen in quite a bit. I'm referring to the Magic Faraway Tree, starring the greatest Spider-Man of all time. Come at me if you will, Andrew Garfield, along with Claire Foy and a star-studded cast behind them, including their children and the fabulous Rebecca Ferguson. Um, and here are my 2 cents for you here. Spoilers are ahead. It opens up this weekend. Um, However, again, spoilers are coming. Once again, it's a very fantastic movie. The general synopsis is a modern day family. They relocate to the countryside where the children, who are pretty disconnected in the fact that they're too connected. He's got 3 kids, or they have 3 kids. Their oldest is somewhat of a influencer, I think 12 or 13, and they have a little son who's around 10, who's just plugged in, playing games all the time. And then they have their third child, who is a little bit more on the adventure side. The problem here is Andrew Garfield's character is really, really concerned with the fact that, and this is actually something I agree with, kids are just becoming too disconnected and losing their childhood. They're not stepping outside of the zone. Yeah, they're playing games with their friends, but they're so isolated with technology and in their rooms and in this certain space. Nobody fucking goes outside anymore. Nobody goes out and hangs out like really on that scale like we used to. And that is a thing. And he's really very bothered by that. Now, add on to the fact that his wife, who is the breadwinner, she is a high tech, high end person who invented this fabulous smart refrigerator, quits her job because she's also coming to terms with the fact that she's providing too much information. She's doing stuff that's just kind of bordering the line of what's right and what's wrong with technology. So she quits. Part of the reason they move out is her company has provided her with a car and a home and whatever. So they want to go back to the roots, start back from scratch, and really discover who they are and who they were supposed to be. And that's where the journey goes. So they go back to the countryside in England. But from there, the kids are transported to this fabulous world, the Faraway Tree. The Faraway Tree is a open gate to just so much magic on so many levels, pun intended, because I mean actual levels, different worlds, fantastical items, fantastical things. Um, so many beautiful, beautiful moments, but not even just visually. The family is the heart of the story. It's what captured everything for me. Honestly, as a father, the effort that, and nothing against moms, just going from a dad's perspective here, so don't come at me because of that. From a dad's perspective, is like, often we bust our ass with so much effort and little to no payoff. No regards or appreciation for what the father's really doing. And he's again trying to make things happen, and he's carrying the weight on his shoulders and all of that. Um, but they were very touching moments. All Andrew Garfield's character Tim is trying to do is bring some heart back into the family, really keep the family dynamic together without these kids really losing themselves and losing part of the family. Um, but yeah, from there, like he's on his own journey trying to go back to a dream he had of making this essentially this tomato sauce and growing these tomatoes. Um, there are battles between the children and his ways. Of course, they're going to be grumpy. They have no Wi-Fi. They have no electricity. It's honestly, when it's a small town, small cabin, that's what it is. It's really going back to ground zero. Um, but I love the way that the family really does start to knit together themselves from that separation, because once you're disconnected you reconnect, like you take those factors out, and those diversions, those distractions allow you to focus on what's important. At the end of the day, your family is important, and it never took away from that. It was a beautifully shot movie. It was directed by Ben Gregor, distributed by Vertical Films, who's killing it right now with other films as well. But again, it was so magical and endearing. I really loved every second of it. It was such a feel good movie. Watch it with your kids. Like, there's nothing out of the ordinary that you can't watch it with your kids with. That's what it was meant for. And even Rebecca Ferguson, who's our bad guy, isn't really a bad guy. Like, there's nothing over the top, menacing, or vengeful here. It's really just, let's bring things back together. I really love the movie. I give it a 5 out of 5. I highly suggest watching it as soon as you can with your family in theaters. don't wait for at home. Watch it in theaters. Enjoy that experience. Once you have, let me know down below. Until the next Alert My Nerds, appreciate